Yo. What's going on, everybody? How's it hanging? How's it happening? You guys know what it is. This is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast. Yes, the Chord Progression Podcast brought to you by My Song a Day Rock 2000 Day. We have a very special Thursday episode for you guys because, well, I had been saying that I've been trying to book some more bands on the podcast, and guess what? We are fucking doing it. So before we get into the interview with the band today, let's go through our shameless plugs. So of course, our shameless plugs are the point of the podcast, where if we had any advertising, this is where it would go. However, we don't, so we're just going to plug the My Song a Day stuff. So please follow My Song a Day on all of our platforms, which include Facebook. You can find out anytime anything gets released, whether it's the podcast episodes, whether it's the YouTube videos, whether it's the 30-second song of the day previews every single day. Find it on there. Twitter, same exact thing. It's really easy to talk to us on Twitter because that's what the platform is built for. Instagram, same thing. It is our most prominent platform because we do multiple things on Instagram as well. On Instagram, we do things such as ask you guys a bunch of fucking questions. We do our live streams every single Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central. It's an hour for you guys to come and talk to me live, and we just have some fun. Plus, every single month now, or every single week now, I'm wearing an Ice 9 Kill shirt, and we're doing that until Spencer Charnas shows up on the live stream because we're having fun with that. Well, because we're just crazy like that. And then our Tuesday IGTV episodes. It's a behind-the-scenes look at what's going on with My Song a Day Rock 2000 today, so get ready for that as well. And it's fun in there. We also have TikTok as well, but I haven't been doing much on TikTok. That's just on me, though. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel because anytime we put out album reviews or any YouTube videos every single Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central, you can find them there, so subscribe to that. You're listening to the Chord Progression Podcast. You're either listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or you're watching us on YouTube, so now you know where to find it. Also enable our Amazon Alexa. Because that's you can hear the whole entire Song of the Day selection. And this is a great way, the Song of the Day selection, to rediscover the old bands you once loved, discover new bands you're gonna love, discover new songs, when new albums are gonna be released. And every single Saturday we feature a song from a smaller band, and that's a band that we want, we know is gonna become the next big thing in the 2020s. So we want you to get in early on them as well as we are. So yeah, it's a great way to get back or continue your journey into rock and metal. So that is our shameless plug section. But now it's time for our feature presentation. So, much like with our last band, Amongst the Giants, I was scouring the Instagram page to talk to people about one of my favorite bands. Clearly, you guys know it's Ice 9 Kills at this point. I would scour for Rise Against as well, but honestly, right now they're not as prevalent as Ice 9 Kills is on Instagram. So, I like talking about Ice 9 Kills. I found this band from New York, and I listened to their stuff, listen to their song, If Only You Knew, which has about 225,000 streams on Spotify, and I'm like, holy shit, these guys sound great. Wonder if they want to be on the podcast. Should I ask? And so I went for it, and now, ladies and gentlemen, here they are. The self-described horrorcore band. So if you guys are fans of bands like Ice 9 Kills, Motionless In White, I'm trying to think of some other good metalcore bands, As I Lay Dying, Kill Switch Engage, even like older Asking Alexandria as well. This is definitely something that you guys will want to listen to and get ready, because these guys are going to come out hot with new music coming like late 2020, probably 2021, but you guys are going to want to have to listen to it and find out about these guys. So get ready, because here we go into the Chord Progression Podcast interview with the horrorcore band Kill the Blonde. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Chord Progression Podcast. With me now are some of the guys from the band Kill the Blonde. So, guys, can you start off by introducing yourselves, tell me who you are and what you do in the band, and we'll take it from there. I'll say it looks like Keanu froze a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, I can see a little bit. It's still kind of frozen.
It's cutting out. All right, I'll start it off then. I'm LJ. I'm the rhythm guitarist. How you doing?
I'm doing okay now. Okay, Keanu, can we get you on this one now? Let's see.
We good?
Yeah.
I'm Keanu. I'm the lead singer. Yeah.
Alrighty, well, that is one of the more interesting ways to start out a podcast with some of that kind of stuff. But you know what? We'll just roll with it, roll with the punches. So we'll start out by talking with you guys. And first off, I remember I first found you guys. I remember exactly. I was scouring, Instagram, just talking to people about one of my favorite bands that has been, come up ever since I started this My Song a Day project with Ice Nine Kills. And I saw your guys' stuff, and I decided to, I gotta take a listen because it seemed like something that I should be listening to. Listen to your song "If Only You Knew," and I'm just like, yeah, we're getting these guys in the podcast any way we can. So that's kind of what got me into you guys. So let's just start out with, you guys have been working on this music for, I would assume, some time. So let's talk about the beginning of Kill the Blonde. What inspired it? What started it? And what inspired you guys to get into music in the first place?
I guess I'll start this. Yeah, as you mentioned, Ice Nine Kills is one of my favorite bands, and I've always liked that horror gothic type of look. So one day I just woke up and I just wanted to start like just a side project, not even just for fun. And Kill the Blonde just hit me as a name. And down the line, we released one single called "Want Me Dead." I did that by myself, and then when that came out, LJ joined like shortly after. And from there on out, we just decided to we never really had like an image or like a style yet. We were still kind of new as far as looks and image and sound goes. And then we decided when we found more members, time passed by, we thought we should go for this kind of dark, gothic, creepy vibe, make it our own. And the EP is basically a self-titled kind of like a storytelling, beginning to end, just a girl and a guy. It's kind of just like a screwed up love story. Yeah, and it worked for us, and we started experimenting with a lot of makeup and face paint, and it worked out. And yeah, that's basically the origin. Kill the Blonde, really. Yeah, I just always liked horror stuff, and I decided to make it into a band because if you're gonna start a band, you want to put your passion into it. You know what I mean?
Oh, very much so. And LJ, when it came to with Keanu coming up with we're gonna do this, the horror trope, kind of really inspired with liking for bands like Ice Nine Kills and Motionless in White. As I can see the Motionless in White little picture behind you there, and Ice Nine as well. What was your thought process behind going like, I'm fully in on this, let's go do it?
It was interesting because first it went from a quick little phone call interview to, just us chilling with everyone. And then we all just started bonding. And it was a really good time. And my bad, I literally just woke up. But it was great just to see everyone working together. And with the prior members, we had a lot of fun with them and a lot of like stuff happen. But I just seen the productiveness of Keanu himself, and I really enjoyed working with him. I took a liking to his strive to work.
And that's something that you really got to take into a fold too when you're thinking about, okay, we're starting a band. We want to make sure that music becomes the thing that we do in life. Mm-hmm. And when you're taking a look at that, the biggest thing you need to find is people that have that kind of a drive and have that same kind of a passion that you do to go forward with it. Because if you don't have that same kind of passion, or people don't have the same kind of passion, and kind of, you're mixing up in between here and there, what's going to end up happening is there's going to be rifts in between with just the amount of work.
Exactly.
And when it comes down to it, in the end, one thing you want to make sure of is that you guys are constantly working on the same goals together. And it seems like you guys definitely have that mindset going forward.
Oh, for sure. We're always working together, always trying to find new ways to do things, always looking at new ideas.
So like, what kind of ways are you looking at these new things to try and get these new ideas? What kind of ways are you going about trying to create music, write these songs, and get the inspiration to do this, and then get into the studio and then record these and put them out to the masses for everyone to hear?
Honestly, it just starts with us writing something we like, him having something that he wrote in the past, and we move on from there and we build off of it and make something that we really enjoy to make, and we love playing our stuff, and that's the goal.
I could add on to that too.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, I mean, basically, the fortunate thing about all of us, all four of us, is we all have the same. We all have different tastes in music, which is great because you can't write the same thing as everyone else. And we try not to worry about what other people are doing or writing. We kind of just write what we want to write. We're not the heaviest band. We might have a darker image, but yeah, we just basically, I mean, like I stated before, I love everything dark, horror, gothic, and whether it's from movie scores or whether it's from like a soundtrack, I'll put that in our music only because it just fits. As far as LJ, he'll come up to me and say, "Hey, this is a really cool beat idea." We'll go from there. We'll write it. We'll send it to our guitar player, and we just go from there. It's basically not even what people think they like. It's what we want to write for us. It fits. As you can tell, a lot of our songs in the EP have a lot of orchestra-driven piano, violins, which is something that I've always wanted to do. And
it's always fun to have that.
Yeah, even the newer songs now, like we're writing a lot of new stuff too. It's just a lot different. It's I guess you could say we're kind of gonna be really different band in the next year. We're taking a leap of faith. We're doing a lot of different things that I think is gonna work out, but it's also, it's a big sacrifice we're gonna do to make these songs as perfect as possible, and it's gonna be different. It might be good. It might be better. It might not be, but the fact that we all have the same mindset of let's try this. This doesn't work. Okay, cool. Let's do that. And we're all really, really fortunate because all four of us have the same ambition and passion. We don't really butt heads a lot. We barely butt heads actually when we write music. If an idea doesn't work, we'll just let it go. It's plain as simple as that.
Well, that's one thing I've been seeing from a lot of bands I've been talking to as well, where it comes down to what they're writing about for music. They're just picking what they truly want to write about, and they get real emotional with it, real raw and real honest with all their music that they're writing. And when you come out with something like that, you're not going to get a lot of stuff that, as I kind of look at it, you're not going to get, pop songs that are just, written just to try and, sell records. You're not going to get some kind of like country songs or just basically, for stadium rock. What you're going to get, and that's a huge thing, especially in rock, metal, and I've been hearing a lot of it in metalcore as well, especially over the past 2 years, where a lot of bands, it's just they're focusing in on what they truly love, what they truly care about, and just going full force into it and not holding back and being honest. And we're getting some of like the greatest metalcore records that I've heard in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's
that
where
new Polaris.
I think that's where it comes into play. Separating the music from the image too. I put more passion into our, I guess, aesthetic because I just like, if you're gonna do something that you love, you might as well go for it. It is 95% music that we're doing, but at the same time, I like to put a lot of my passion and a lot of my dedication into the way I write, like lyrics, the way we look, our pictures. Like, I just like to have fun with it. I don't know. I really can't explain it, but yeah, no, it's weird. I feel like that's why people also catch on to us because we're honest. We are not just writing because of what people want to hear. We're doing it because we want to write it and we're true to ourselves. And whether it's, a song that's about, I don't know, a girl running or a song about a breakup, we're just honest with it. We're not gonna, we're not gonna lie to ourselves and write music that we don't want to write. If we don't like it, we're not gonna use it. It's just plain and simple the way it is.
No, and one other thing too is when you're taking a listen to some of that stuff and you're really listening and writing it, what's gonna end up coming out is that, like I was saying earlier, that raw, that honesty to it. And one thing that's great about music is, one thing I've always been kind of thinking about it is, it gives a sound and it gives a tangible feeling to something that people are feeling, and because you're putting out music about potentially going through some hard times, going through a breakup. Everyone goes through this stuff, and sometimes they're not really sure how to process those emotions and how to express those. And through music, people really can feel that and then express that because of it.
course. Yeah, that's why music's a beautiful thing. It's, you don't necessarily have to write, everyone writes different too. Like, if only you knew, that song is about a breakup. It's just, it's my way of basically writing how it is. And that's what's my music. A song doesn't have to be sad to be emotional. A song could literally be a note, a guitar string, or I don't know, a bass drop. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to just be like what you're. I think it's more of like, if you feel the groove itself, lyrics are just another texture of the song. It's, not everything is lyric driven. It just depends on. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, LJ, you get out onto this if you want to, because you do a lot of the writing. So.
Yeah, honestly, like a lot of feeling can come from a lot of like this, like the style that's being written. You could hear anger, you could hear like emotion and everything throughout. If I wrote a sad chorus with just instruments, you'll be able to hear how sad it is just by the scale of it, stuff like that. And like, it's really a cool thing that music is like that.
Well, especially because when people are listening to certain songs, they listen to those certain sounds all the time because they end up bringing out that emotion. And like a band that always has a certain kind of like real depressive emotion, no matter what, anytime I listen to them with their pop punk style, has to be like Mayday Parade. And it's not like, if I'm going to be, in like a super duper happy mood, like everything's going great, I'm not going to really listen to Mayday Parade, mostly because all those sounds are really associated with more of like, sadder, more depressed feeling. And don't get me wrong, I mean, they make great music. However, there's certain times I want to listen to them, certain times I don't want to listen to them. But that's also the greatness with music too, just because just the sounds and the pitches on everything just have all these different emotions tied to them that's not even lyric driven. And then you add the lyrics on top of it, and it can add so many more layers to it.
Yeah,
it just adds.
That's why it's a beautiful thing. It's even a certain band, like for example, this is kind of a stretch, but like a deathcore band could write about a breakup, but you're not going to feel that emotion you might when you want to cry. If I want to like cry, I'm going to listen to, like you said, Mayday Parade or maybe Damned Affliction. But like, if I'm like in a really pissed off mood, I'm not going to listen to like, that kind of band. I'm going to listen to like, heavier stuff that has the same exact message and meaning, but it just adds a different feel to it. Like, you don't go into like, after a breakup, listening to like Chelsea Grin. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, you can. It's just, I don't know. Music is it's a weird thing. It's like, you could write about something, but the emotion might not be that emotion that they're feeling, but you're feeling that.
Yeah, and as long as you're expressing that emotion too, you're going to connect with so many different people, because people process all these different events in their life so much differently. I mean, for instance, I'll use me as an example. When I went through breaking up with the girlfriend I had for about a year, I mean, it was something that literally almost took me out completely. Like, I mean, gone. So when it came down to listening to some stuff, I wasn't listening to things that were going to be, like listening to like Chelsea Grin and just, getting all super angry at it. Like, I was super sad, depressed. So listening to Mayday Parade, and that was right around the time when, unfortunately, when Chester Bennington killed himself. So listening to the One More Light album, it just added so much more to it, to the point where overall, do I like that album? Not really, but it has such a special place in my heart because of something like that and all the emotion that's tied to it.
Like, and there's a saying too, it's like, sometimes the song knows what you're going through. As crazy as it sounds, like, I mean, I went through a pretty bad breakup 2 years ago too, and that was kind of like I hit rock bottom really, really bad. And just music hit me differently. Even like the saddest songs that weren't supposed to be sad were just, it was different. So like, I feel like the band knows what they're going through. Like the songs, like they just write them, like they know what you're going through. So it's going to affect you more. Like you can be in the happiest.
Nice escape.
Yeah, I could play like One More Light right now. It won't be sad. I'm like, okay, yeah. But like if I was sad, I'd be like, all right, I'm actually really sad now. So it's like, it's weird because like it has moods and it changes throughout your emotion. And that's what's beautiful about music. It's just, you don't have to write something sad to be emotional. You can write something that's happy, but you still be emotional about it. Like, I mean, I don't write the saddest stuff for total fun, but people have been telling me that our music has helped them. And it's just like crazy to say. I'm like, wow, we aren't, the most emotional band, but the fact people say that is a really, really good, humbling feeling.
I mean, that just shows the connection that your music is able to have with not only the fans that you have right now, but the possibility of all the people out there that listen to like metal, heavy metal, metalcore, hard rock that could really get into your style and get into your music. It just opens the door for so many possibilities. The fact that it's so, I would say, easy for people to listen to your music and easily relate something that you're talking about in your music or the emotion that you're putting out just in the way that the song sounds to their own lives.
Right.
And have you ever had anybody like reach out to you and maybe over Instagram, maybe personally, and tell you like, oh my God, I was going through something and I listened to your music and it just completely, maybe changed their life around or gave them the strength to do whatever they needed to do to maybe get over something that was going on in their lives, or just was there was there something that someone like said to you about your music that really connected with you, with the fans and you and like them with the band as well?
Yeah, I mean, we've had plenty of messages, more over Instagram, and just telling us how our music has, restored their, faith in, I guess, metalcore, and how, I mean, and it's crazy because I don't think we're the most original band either, but the fact that someone's like, hey, you guys music are like, I don't usually like this kind of music, but you guys have really helped me a lot. Horror and like, this is just my favorite. You guys helped me do a really bad breakup. It's just it's a really good feeling, and it's a little overwhelming because I don't think you go into this band life expecting that, and it just happened. And yeah, I mean, everyone has been really cool to us. We've gotten some messages saying how they're like our new favorite band now. Blah 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 blah. LJ, if you want to add on to that, you can. Kind of running down.
I mean, yeah, I've gotten even personal messages on Snapchat about people who really like us as a band, and I get it over Instagram, I get it over Facebook, I get it over every social media where they can find us, whether they find me, you, or the band page itself.
Yeah,
and it's really nice to see stuff like that, and like it really brings confidence up and really drives me to do more with this band.
That also has to really, give you inspiration and just a buttload of energy when you see something like that and you see how your music is really connecting with other people to the point where all of a sudden you see it and you just get super excited because not only are you making the music that you love, but you're really making a difference in the lives of other people all at the same time.
Yeah. And it's crazy. It's literally crazy. Funny story. I have a friend who are like really good friends now. I went to a party and I told her, I'm like, hey, like, yeah, I'm Keanu, blah, blah, blah. And I guess I told her I was in a band. I was like, yeah, I'm in Kill the Blonde. She like freaked out. She's like, what you're in Kill the Blonde? I'm like, yeah. And the fact that like someone in my town like knows about us and got like freaked out that like I'm the singer of this band is kind of crazy. So I was like, wow, like you actually know about us? Like that's cool. Yeah, it's just really cool to get, I guess, a little bit of recognition. Yeah,
kind of like a little bit of validation that what you're doing is like it's really impacting people that you want to be impacting, and it's hitting the listeners well to the point where people are coming up to you and like talking to you. All of a sudden, they realize that you're in Kill the Blonde, and they're just like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
No. This can't be true. And you're just like, yeah, that's me. And then all of a sudden it's just, oh my God, best day ever.
It's funny because actually, I mean, it's actually happened like that too.
I'll say if I just did a shot for shot reimagination of that, maybe I should go to like California, go to Hollywood and start producing video for this stuff, but maybe not. I don't think they could handle my wackiness.
Listen, I mean...
You'd be surprised, man.
That's true, that's true.
Hollywood is full of crazy people.
We're all pretty wacky, honestly.
Yeah,
that's how you make it somewhere, though.
Well,
gotta be wacky.
LJ, have you ever had something like that happen to you where you end up like talking with someone and they found out that you were a part of Kill the Blonde and all of a sudden it's just like, oh my God, this is fantastic. I can't believe I met someone like this.
Actually the opposite when me and Keanu were at a party. They were like,
is
oh,
this like the
that's
same?
Keanu from Kill the Blood. Yeah, me and Keanu were right next to each other. Some guy goes, yo, that's Keanu from Kill the Blood. I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm his bandmate. He goes, I don't know who you are. Just walks away.
That was funny. I felt bad. I told LJ, I was like, LJ, I'm like, you'll get your time.
I was like, all right.
It was funny though.
It was just funny to me.
So that actually is kind of funny, and that's probably a story you're gonna end up telling. You know, in the next like 5 to 10 years, all of a sudden it's how at the beginning of the band when you guys are really starting to just gain some traction. You guys were at a party and all of a sudden someone's like recognizes Keanu, goes crazy, and then all of a sudden you're just standing next to him, LJ, and just like, yep, I'm here too. Just kind of sit there.
Yep.
Hi.
It's funny.
He's the front man. That's what he gets. It's what he's supposed to do.
It's funny
though. It's
though.
supposed to happen.
I'm not even I don't even like boast about it. I'm just like, yeah, hey, it's weird. Like, I mean, LJ is the outgoing one, so if anything, I thought he would be the one that would get the oh my god, but I don't do anything. I'm just, I don't know.
It's like I'm just here.
Your image is more outgoing. My image is more like, yeah. Well, when you talk to me in person, I'm pretty loud, pretty full of ADHD,
But also
I'm just still waking up, so like I don't have it right now.
But it's also like the kind of like the classic trope when it comes to when it comes to bands as well, because everyone's always focusing on like the front man, lead singer, all that stuff, or that's always like the guitarist. It comes next. I think I saw there was one of the best memes I saw was had like literally like the setup of a band. It had the lead singer had like 6 or 7 women around him. Guitarist had about 3, drummer 1, bass guitarist just himself. That was it.
I can relate. I played bass for like 6 years in like bands, and yep, I can relate.
So you played for 6 years before you even started to Kill the Blonde.
Yeah, I've been in various local bands like a while back. I've actually started off on guitar. I played guitar for a little bit. Didn't get really good at that, so I went to bass. Played that for maybe 7, 8, 10 years. Just played bass. I toured at bands, played bass, filled in for bass, and this is actually the first band I'm actually like singer. And it's funny because like when I started this band, I didn't want to be a singer. I kind of just wanted to do it just to get it out there, and it worked out. It was like, okay, well, this fits my style. Like I couldn't scream either. Like I was new to screaming and singing, so I was like, all right, I guess I'll stick with it. And then I was gonna take a guitar, and then LJ decided to come in, and I was like, all right, well, that takes the weight off me. So
yeah. LJ, were you doing a lot of other projects beforehand with before Kill the Blonde, playing in some small bands as well, or was this like your first one?
Going back forward, I've worked with bands before, but every time I worked with a band, it just got nowhere, and everything was just like it was just trying to work with people in your own area, and then I tried expanding myself, and then I met Keanu, and then we just kept working at it. Like I said before, like it was so hard. I worked at multiple people, like multiple groups, and everything just like went down 1 month in.
Ooh.
Yeah, he stayed. It's funny. I'm not to get off track too much, but it's funny because we had like various lineup changes, and the thing that actually brought me and LJ together was we had a music video shoot for If Only You Knew. You know the story. Everyone in the band the day before them. So LJ was the only one who stayed, and we found a fill-in bass player who became a bass player later, and then found a fill-in drummer. And ever since then, it's been him and I from like the beginning, I guess you can say. And we've just found other members. So it's kind of funny how when everyone else left, he was the one that stayed. So it's kind of like, not to say a miracle, but I guess it was just kind of like meant to happen. You know what I mean? So
it's like the universe said it was going to be so, and the universe brought us together.
Yeah. I guess that's what it was. And I was like, are you sure you're not going to leave? Like, don't leave. He's like, I'm not going to leave. I'm like, okay. So
yeah, and one other thing, if you take a look at, I mean, there's so many bands, they go through lineup changes so many different times. It's very rare that you see a band like when they start playing the first show they ever play, or the first album they ever write, and then going forward that never changes. It's incredibly rare to see, and I can think of maybe like one example only, which is kind of bad. I can only think of one example, but I think the only band I can remember that's actually kind of done that might have been Alter Bridge.
Simple Plan actually is original.
All of them?
I think before they started getting bigger, they had like I think 1 or 2 member changes before they were Simple Plan, but yeah, they've actually till this day they're all original members, which is cool. So
that is, I didn't even know
lost your camera.
I saw them last. I think October, and they were. I mean, I love pop punk. That's one thing too. I'm a pop punk guy. I love pop punk, and we were supposed to be a pop punk band, but it just didn't work out. And yeah.
And then you end up going into more of that, because I think when I first found you guys, like you had the like little like description in Instagram is like horrorcore, and then when I first saw that, all I thought was like, holy shit, this is basically like what I was looking for with. Like, I'm searching up stuff for Ice Nine Kills, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, horror, metalcore. Yeah, this is pretty much like right in line with what I want to listen to.
It's funny because it was a joke, horrorcore, and then like everyone kept telling us like, yeah, I found a really cool horrorcore band, horrorcore. I was like, wait, everyone's calling us horrorcore. Like, it's pretty cool. So I was like, you know what? I was gonna troll and say, yeah, we're a horror band. It's stuck. And I was like, all right, I guess we actually are. It was honestly just a joke that everyone kept saying, but it was kind of just molded into that. And now it turned into it. Now it's kind of cool how people associated with metalcore, horrorcore together. It's kind of a dream come true because I kind of wanted that, but yeah, I don't know.
You guys aren't the only band I've talked to that have kind of had some sort of a way where they kind of like created their own genre in a sense.
Yeah,
and or like call it, because there was a band I've been working with. I've had them on the podcast twice. They call themselves a beauty core band. They're called Go Franklins and Myrrh, and
awesome.
It's 3 sisters. And I've listened to their stuff, and the way I describe people, it's like if Paramore tried to play a Day to Remember, and it's like it's got like the metalcore tendencies there. It's got the pop punk tendencies in there. It's got like some Paramore tendencies in there, and it's just I'm like, this is some good shit. And then all of a sudden, I jump out of your guys' stuff. It's like, okay, let's listen to this. I'm like, and of course I see horrorcore. My first thought is, okay, this is going to be something like Ice Nine Kills. I got to listen to it. And I listen. I'm like, yeah, this is some good shit. Let's go.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah, it means a lot.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
It was hard because everyone kept saying like, oh, you guys are Ice Nine or Motionless In White ripoff. I was like, we really don't sound like them. Like, we might have influences, but like, we're 2 very different genres. Like, you might have the same horror aspect as they are right there. But I don't think we sound like them. I mean, me personally, but yeah, I just think we kind of just do our own thing while having the horrorcore name.
Yeah, well, like when I was listening to your guys' music, like I could find bits and pieces of where it's like I could see things where people would be like, oh, that kind of sounds like something that like Motionless In White would have put together, something that Ice Nine Kills would put together. But then also like listening to other stuff as well, I'm like, okay, there's some instrumentation in there that I'm like, this is kind of, sounds a little bit, inspired by like Kill Switch Engage or As I Lay Dying. So it's like there's so many different aspects in there that you're not going to be like, set. You're kind of like set, in the horrorcore genre that you guys created, but you're not set up where it's okay. We're going to be like directly behind this one band. We're going to be our own thing, and we're going to make it our own. And that's what every single band does. Is they take the influences from the bands that they listened to when they were getting inspired, when they were growing up, when they were really starting to get into music, and what formed their musical tastes. They take that and they mold it into something. They take bits and pieces and create something new. And that's pretty much when I was listening to your guys' EP. That's what you guys did.
Yeah, and LJ is actually the one behind all the Kill Switch Engage. He likes a lot of that kind of metalcore back in the day. So it was cool. Like, I wasn't too big on that. I was more of like a Census Fail, Newfound Glory, that type of stuff. And LJ was more like the heavier, like As Lay Dying. So I was like, let's just combine the two and add orchestra to it, because I was in band in high school and I've always liked that kind of sound. And our new guitar player now even adds more to that, and it kind of was best of both worlds.
Whenever I hear like that orchestra sound in a song like that, I always end up like, if I'm doing a review on it, I don't ever call it orchestra. I always like call it epic, just because it makes it sound like it's part of like some huge full length Hollywood produced thing for some massive fight scene. Like I'm trying to think of epic, like the Star. I mean, I'll probably pull up something that people are going to yell at me about, but whatever. Because I'm going to pull up Star Wars. I'm going to pull up Star Wars Episode 1 because I know a lot of people didn't like that one. But the music that there's playing between the fight between Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Darth Maul, like just the sound, like the orchestral sound that they put together with that, it just made everything sound so much more epic, so much bigger than you could possibly imagine it could be. Even though it's a huge moment, it just the sound just impacts it. It multiplies it so much more. And hearing that epic sound in your guys' music as well, I'm just like, holy shit!
Thank you. Yeah, I've always wanted to have that. And if you heard our other song, "Want Me Dead," the first song we've ever written, that was more of like that was probably the least orchestra heavy song. And when "If Only You Knew" came around, I was like, I kind of want to add more orchestra to this song, and it worked out because it kind of gives you that motif element. We're called motif chord too. It's a joke you put on. If you know what motif means.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nicely done on that one.
So it worked out.
But you see some other bands too, and I'm just going to bring it up as well just because they've other bands have tried to do stuff like that as well, where they just bring in all the different aspects of music just to try and create a certain sound and try and amplify what music is going on to really pull it together, and it works. And I'll use a couple of that that I'm well aware of that you guys are well aware of. I'll use Motionless In White as an example. Like I don't know exactly how they pulled off Eternally Yours, but it's just the way they had the guitar sound, especially at the intro, just set everything up for how it went through the rest of the song. And then going to Ice Nine Kills with It Is the End, bringing in the guys from Less Than Jake just to have the horns to create this sinister carnival sound. In theory, it's not supposed to work out. It's like, this is going to be too messy. But then you put it out there, it's just like, why did we think this wasn't going to work? This is amazing. And it's when you pull in that orchestral sound too, it's just like at times, people might be thinking, oh, this probably ain't going to work. All of a sudden you put it out there and they listen, they're going to be like, why did I ever doubt these guys?
I mean, then again, though, it's passion. I think the reason why it worked so well with especially Ink is because they were really passionate on the whole, horror and orchestra sound. And they just knew how to make it work, as opposed to a band just doing it to be like, oh yeah, it's going to work. So it's going to work. No, and it doesn't work. It's just I think it only works for bands if they have the passion and the ambition behind it. It's not forced either. You can tell if something's forced and it just flowed perfectly. There's also too much of everything. And they kind of I feel like a lot of people put that in your face too much. You kind of have to tease them a little bit before you start going full swinging with it. Oh, that's why.
I'll say very, very much so. And using another band as well with their release earlier this year with Apocalyptica, because they're basically built off that orchestral sound. But it just, that's how it sounds, and that just comes so naturally to them. So you take a look at their background of every member in Apocalyptica, and it's pure orchestral. And then going back to you, Keanu, when you're talking about when you're in high school, going through band, going through orchestra as well, and having a passion for that, it's so much, you can just tell it's so easy to bring that out in your music, and it's not forced at all. It just, it feels like it's organically there, and it's supposed to be there.
Yeah, it basically, the EP basically wrote itself. It was just ideas that just flowed and came, and LJ just basically glued it together. It was really easy. Mm-hmm. We knew the style we wanted to go for. Our producer knew the style we wanted to go for, and it just wrote itself, and I'm really happy that it did. And these new songs, once we tell more about it later on, I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised, because we even took more of what we did last EP but added more to it.
All right, before I end up jumping in to try and predict the future with you guys, I kind of want to go back into the EP as well. I'm going to go with LJ on this one, because it sounds like you had a little bit of a hand in really creating a good amount of these songs, and really maybe trying to get them to produce them to sound a little bit of a certain way that you want them to sound. And I mean, it came out fantastic. And it, not only that, but you're in the reception off it too. And I got to pull up because I got Spotify open up. And it seems like with If Only You Knew, you guys are getting close to about 225,000 streams just on that song alone.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
It's really crazy to hear that's happening. Like, we never thought that was going to happen. Like, we expected some love, some support, but seeing it go that far just makes us want to even work even more. And like, it's crazy to see that it's going to go like to the 225K. That's just absolutely insane.
And then before you know, it's going to be to 250K. And then all of a sudden it might just keep going more and more and more and more. And you know, all of a sudden it'll hit 1 million. Then you'll have a second song hit 1 million. Then all of a sudden it's like on average, you'll have a song hit 1 million. It easily can happen. It's not something that's a pipe dream.
Yeah, it's crazy.
When done right, you get rewarded. And it's great to know that you could see you're going down the right path.
Yeah, and we didn't really expect any, we expected the support and the backing, but we didn't expect this, especially this quickly. And I guess you can say it's kind of luck, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe it was supposed to happen, but it's just crazy how I open Spotify every day and I'm like, these are going up by the thousands. I'm like, this is crazy. Like the EP, yeah, okay, like I worked hard on it, but like I was not expecting this at all. It's kind of nerve-wracking because I was like, how are we going to top this? How are we going to top this EP now? You know, it's kind of hard. It's like, are these new songs going to be better than the old songs? Like, I don't. That's my fear. But then again, I think it will. It's just always that fear in your mind. We're saying, what if this song is our best? We can't write anything better than that.
But you can't let that fear hold you back either, because what band was it that just had a song like that? It might have been Amity Affliction, because I was listening to it. It was just off their new album too, where they're talking about songs where it's just like being held back by fear and how not going after what you really want to go after in life just because you're too scared of the unknown. And kind of using that as an example here to where all of a sudden, okay, things are going on in life. It happens. And, you know, you came out with a great EP, but now it's like you're coming out with new music and you want to make sure that you take that EP, build on it, and give something that has even more of an impact to the fans that you think is even better than the EP. But it's like, oh, you know, I'm not sure how that's going to be received by the fans. That's just something where it's just, you know, if you're going to keep being consumed by that kind of a fear, which I don't think you guys are going to be, clearly the way you guys have been talking about, you know, how you guys write music, how you guys are inspired. But there are a lot of people out there that feel that same way, where it's just they let the fear kind of just let their dreams go to the wayside. And you got to take that fear and just say, well, fuck this. I'm going to go do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was my issue for a long time. That's why I'm kind of, I guess, glad that the EP's out, because I was kind of like, no, let's just wait. But I was like, the more I wait, the worse it's going to get. And I kind of just let go of that feeling of, well, if we don't push this out, you know, it might not ever, you know, go where we want it to go. And I don't know. It's just weird how I guess this happened. I don't know if you want to add on to that. You can.
Oh, it's crazy how all of this happened, and even this podcast is just like crazy to me. That I never expected this to happen either.
Hey, trust me, if you asked me 2 years ago if this would have been happening, even for myself, that I'd be talking to a bunch of bands that were basically, as I'm tabbing, as the next big things in rock and metal, like I probably would have looked at everyone and been like, there's no fucking way I'm doing that. And all of a sudden now, here I am, talking with you guys, because I've talked about maybe 5 or 6 other bands. And I'm like, holy shit, these guys are great. And I've got even more coming up over the course of the next like couple of weeks. It's like, this is going to be, like, this is fucking fantastic. But then again, it's all based upon the fact that when I wanted to go and try and do something like this, I knew there'd be some people I'd be like, yeah, that's probably not a good idea. Just stick with a stable job and everything. But that wasn't going to make me happy ever. I mean,
yeah, it's not going to make you happy.
I was going to be happy.
I know that feeling.
Focusing on a job that I was only going to get like, 2 weeks vacation on, and no one's going to give a crap about me. Just no.
Mm-hmm. I can say the same thing. I mean, there was plenty of chances where I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to give this whole band life up. We had a lot of shit happen to us in the past month, and starting this band out was very, very hard. It was only me, LJ, and then we had no other members, and we had members leave on us before a show, and just a lot of bad juju with us. And this happened, which is good. And I had a lot of chances to be like, yeah, we're done. I'm going to start a new job. I'm going to get a real career. And I was like, but I'm not going to be happy. I might make more money, but like, it's like, I try to like not play by the rules when it comes to life. It's like, yeah, I can follow the rules and, get a good job, get, a really steady income, or I can sacrifice everything that I love for what I love to do. And hopefully soon it'll pay off and repay everyone who doubted me even tenfold. You know what I mean? So it's scary because you don't want to do the uncomfortable thing, but at the same time, it's way more rewarding to push through it and get what you want to get. Like if I told you a year ago, if I would, have almost 300,000 streams and, a podcast with this band, I would say, no, you're crazy. But it's not crazy because we worked at it, we pushed it, and we stayed true to ourselves. We didn't really let our doubts consume us. And I mean, I'm sure LJ felt the same exact way. We both had options to let it go, but we just didn't. Something in our heart.
It's really what brings people down. It's really what takes people out of the music scene mainly. Exactly. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm never going to make it in here. And then they just leave. The reason why people are making it so big is because they stayed through those moments.
Yeah,
and like
no band has ever had a moment where it's all of a sudden they dropped one song, like their first song ever, and all of a sudden it was everyone absolutely loved it. No, it's you got to go through all the crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like just yesterday we had a situation. We ordered merch and it didn't come out as planned we wanted to, and that was kind of like a backtrack with us. But I mean, shit happens, and down the line, we're going to get something even better. So we got to take the little things that happen bad and look at it as a positive thing. For every bad thing that happens, something good happens. I always believe in that.
Yeah, and I want to jump onto one thing because there's something that with life that I really subscribe to, and I think you guys might be the exact same way with it. And it's when it comes to success, I always see success as relative to happiness. Because I mean, I've got a couple of friends. I got a friend. He's 22 or 23. I don't even know how old he is anymore. He's a couple years younger than me. He's got his own house. He's engaged. He's got a job cutting metal. He's making like 55,000 a year, and the dude's just happy with his life, happy doing whatever he's doing. And if you take a look at someone who's making, maybe $300,000-$400,000 as a lawyer, but absolutely miserable because they never went after what they wanted to go for, it's like society's going to look and say that this lawyer who's making $400,000 is more successful than my buddy. However, my buddy's happy as shit with his life. So who's to say he's not a fucking success? And when it comes down to it, when it comes especially within the music as well, you guys are doing this because this is what you absolutely love. And by the time, maybe you guys are going to be sitting 70, 80 years old, sitting on I don't know, somewhere, back porch.
A wheelchair.
Or something. Don't give a shit, literally sitting there drinking a beer, looking back on what you guys did and ask yourselves, do you have any regrets? Now, there's going to be a shit ton of people in life that are going to have so many regrets because they didn't go after what they wanted to go after. You guys, on the other hand, are going for it. And you guys are seeing some success off of it already, and that you're able to start building on it. So who knows, maybe by the time you guys are 70, 80 years old, sitting in those wheelchairs, drinking some beer and looking back at it and being like, yeah, we really fucking did it. And like looking back, do you have any regrets in life? You guys look back and be like, fuck no.
I mean, when I'm 80, I hope to still be doing it in a wheelchair, hopefully.
Okay, now that would be that'd be awesome. That'd be a lot of people being able to want to go and see that if you just were sitting in a wheelchair, wheeling around on stage and still hitting the unclean vocals like you can. Now that would be sick.
Hey guys, we're killing.
Gotta wear my earplug.
This song is LJ take over.
Got like the oxygen tubes going in your nose, and all of a sudden just like getting up slowly, just trying to walk there. All of a sudden.
Oh, you guys froze.
Right. I mean, hey, look, if Ozzy Osbourne can be doing it for that long, even Metallica, fuck, why the hell can't we? You know?
Hey, if the Rolling
So,
Stones are still kicking after 60 years, you guys can too.
I mean, maybe
Why
not
not?
physically, but we'll be kicking.
Well, breathing. How about that? Just
Yeah.
breathing
Hopefully.
and able to produce noise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, you guys cut out for like 30 seconds for me. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I've been able.
But
I've picked up literally everything so far, audio wise. So I'm flying right over
good.
here.
That's good on your part.
It's like the person who
It's just
needs to
my
have
fault for having optimum.
It's like the person that needs to have the most like important audio. I've got everything covered, so which is a first for me because my internet fucking sucks.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine oh.
Your internet.
And
All
that,
right,
just right
maybe
that
our
moment,
internet works together.
yeah, I'll say literally right that moment Keanu cut out, and now of course, as I call it, I jinx myself. Of course.
It's okay. Shit happens.
It's okay. I'm just gonna once I go to a different place, I'm gonna definitely get different internet provider because yeah, I'm not really feeling it. There's been times where I've done like Instagram live streams and all of a sudden like I've had to do it with my phone data and not with internet just because I couldn't connect to it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I probably use my phone, but I'd rather use my computer.
Yeah, understandable. I've taken like my computer back like by my parents' house just to upload stuff because I'll try and upload stuff here and it'll take me to do just like a 20-minute YouTube video. It'll take like an hour and a half to upload. If I try to upload a podcast video, I mean that's 3+ hours. I go over by my parents' house, like the YouTube videos will be up in 10 minutes.
Bro, it took me like 4 hours to release a 7-minute YouTube video, like with this Wi-Fi, a 7-minute video, and I was just like, and it was a shit video anyway. But like, just like this, just see it take that long. I'm like, Optimum, you're fired, bro. Come on.
Yet today, from my perspective, like your internet's been really good, so maybe they finally came through.
I'm surprised. Sometimes my computer just like I spilled coffee on my laptop and like I guess the Wi-Fi like driver is broken, so like it just cuts in and out like so much and like I just lose Wi-Fi.
Oh.
I'm very happy it hasn't happened yet. I'm knocking on wood just for that, but you know.
I just hope it doesn't happen, but because I know we're gonna get to some good stuff going forward. So because you guys have released the EP last year, you guys have been around. I know you guys have played live shows. I know you guys have probably toured with a couple other bands. I know you guys have played with Zume because they told me you guys have played with them. So what's it been like doing live shows? What's your style when it comes to live shows? 'Cause I couldn't really find anything online with those. I was trying to find like some YouTube video of like you guys going crazy in a live show, but I couldn't really find it. So what's that all like?
Okay, so I guess I'll start from the beginning because our live shows. Oh, those are a keeper. Our first live show we actually headlined Amityville in Long Island. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's a nice venue. It's in Long Island. It's like an hour and maybe 10 minutes from me. Like 2 hours from like LJ because you're on like Bumblefuck.
Yeah, I know.
So every show we played got increasingly better, but we only had 3 songs to play live. So we played 3 originals, 1 original from my last band before this became Kill the Bond. Actually, we actually rebranded too. Funny story. And we played 2 covers. We played a Census Hill cover and then a Seven Dust cover. Because we had nothing else to basically write. And just over the course of months, we just found new members. And just once we finished our EP, we started just playing longer sets. We actually got makeup going on. We wear body paint now for shows. So every show increasingly got better. Like if you saw our shows from then to now, we're not the same band. We have a lot of new equipment. We have obviously a full band now, drummer. So yeah, it's LJ.
So clearly it's still an ever evolving process when it comes to really creating an experience at your live shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had to backtrack for e-guitar for a long time because it was only me, LJ, and our fill and drummer. So it felt kind of, there was like always that void on the stage where it's like it feels empty without a bass player or another guitar player or a drummer. And now that we overcame that void of not having a certain like a member, really does help. And I feel like the look that we have on stage now, we're more nice band, or the thing on stage. We all look alike. Yeah.
Hey, tell them the McDonald's story when you said look alike.
Okay, look-alike McDonald's story. This sounds like something you guys got to talk about right now.
When we walked into McDonald's, the guy asked if we were all related. He asked Keanu, he's like, "Are you guys brothers? You all look alike."
Yeah, that's funny. This is like, I think this is the day. I think the day of the show or after, maybe we still had our attire on. And like, we look like a metal band, but like, oh, are you guys brothers? I'm like, no, we're in a band. He's like, oh, what band are you in? I'm like, Kill the Blonde. Kill the who? Kill the Blonde. Is it Kill the Blunt? I'm like, no, Blonde. He's like, oh, okay. It was funny.
That dude was probably hoping that it was Kill the Blunt because he's probably like, hey, man, I just did that a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, honestly, I was expecting that.
Actually, called this Kill the Blunt, which it sounds pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it sounds like another Kill the band, Kill the Blunt, like a party rock band.
Yeah.
But, everyone's like, Kill the Blunt.
Am I sensing a side project?
Kill the Blunt 2021.
Oh, dear God. Did we just start something that, oh boy. Well, if all of a sudden someone comes out with a Kill the Blunt thing and it's not you guys, we know where they found it.
I mean, they better pay the name, so they better give us something.
Oh God, yeah, they better. But we will have the video and audio evidence of it, so we're good to go. We'll have timestamps, everything will be set.
I mean, we'll do it. Screw it. I'll start a band. I don't know if I play an instrument or sing, but screw it. I'll hop on bass. LJ's got the vocals. You got the drums. I don't know. Do something.
Just make a power band. Let's make it Kill the Blonde. But now it's just like we're playing different things, just out of nowhere.
I was in a deathcore band in high school, and we were called Indica Strain.
Indica Strain?
Indica Strain, yeah. It was, and they were all potheads too, and it was just like, it was like a psychedelic deathcore band with like a little bit of singing. But yeah, it was called Indica. I'm like, what's Indica mean? Because I don't know what that meant back in the day. And it was kind of funny. I mean, they all broke up, but whatever.
Trust me, I would have said the same thing. I've been like, it's like indica strain. I'd be like, okay, what type of strain is that? Is it the one that makes you sleep or the one that gives you the energy? I don't remember.
I don't know.
It's the one that makes you sleepy.
Oh, I don't.
All right, I'm gonna take LJ's word on that one because, well, I clearly don't know shit about that, and there's probably gonna be someone that's gonna comment like, "Oh, you don't know anything about this types of strains." I'm like, well, no shit.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't stay up all night studying different types of strains.
There's only 3.
Memorizing the types of strains and their substrains.
Yeah, you got sativa, hybrid, and indica. That's it.
Is it acacia? Is acacia? Or no? That's just something made up.
It's a new strain.
We have Google for a reason.
It's the official Kill the Blonde strain, whatever the heck Keanu just said, because there's no way I'm going to be able to repronounce that because that just, well, I don't remember what it was, like Acacian or something like that.
Acacia.
All right, so back to like on like the touring and stuff though. Because have you guys played really outside of your home state around New York, or have you guys gone and ventured out a little bit more? Have you guys gone out and played with a couple of bigger bands? Have you guys had a chance to play with a band that maybe you guys looked up to or have been inspired by to write your music or really enjoyed when you were kids?
We actually just played PA in New Jersey, like I think a couple weeks ago. That's we debuted ourselves in Allentown, Pennsylvania for the first time ever, and every out-of-state show we played is just better than New York because it's just people are more receptive. It's just crazier crowds. People actually go.
It's a whole new group of people.
It's different.
And people come to you with open arms if they see what you're doing and they see that you love what you're doing.
We had our last PA show. We had a drummer got sick, so our manager actually hopped on stage and played drums for the first time ever, and he killed it. I was like, this is gonna go really, really bad. And as soon as the drop hit for If Only You Knew, I was like, okay, I'm confident. And
Nice.
I think halfway into our set, our laptop died. So all the automation, all the effects we had in my mic turned off. LJ's guitar like unplugged, and I had to use guitar player's mic. And we stopped the show for like maybe 10 minutes. Everybody stayed there. It's like, wow, like no one said anything about it. They were like, yeah, shit happens. Good job. I was like, wow, people actually are really cool about this. It's awesome. As far as bands we're playing with, we have one big show with a really big band I can't announce yet.
Okay, I'm not gonna force you to announce it because that's whenever you guys are able to announce it. We'll see. It'll be like, oh shit.
Once it happens, you'll know. Part of it we don't know if it's like locked in yet, but once we find out, we'll definitely let you know about it. But until then, it's a big band. They're signed. Let's just say they're signed.
Well, we'll just leave. Let's spoiler at that. It's gonna be it's a big band. For everyone else listening, we'll let you speculate about it because, well, that's just fun at times and see if anyone actually guesses it right. But up until then, it'll be up until you guys to announce it. So, because if you guys are planning that, is there anything else big that you guys are planning in 2020 when it comes to touring? Because like you guys just said, you guys are playing shows in like Pennsylvania. And I know that when I've talked to some other bands as well, like the Northeast or the Northeastern United States, there's a certain culture around there when it comes to rock, metal, heavy metal, metalcore. And then there's like, when you go to other places, there's just like different styles of just the way the crowds react. Like the Northeast is a little bit different. The Midwest here where I'm at, it's a little bit different. Florida's its own fucking thing from what I've heard from everybody I've talked to. And what I've heard is like, if you go further out west, if you go further out west, like, like California, Oregon, Washington, like it's there, but it's just not as prevalent as places like the Midwest or parts of the Northeast or, Florida, because Florida's on its own.
Yeah. As far as touring, we don't have anything set yet. But what I can say from what you were talking about different regions, when I toured last year with this band, everyone, it's just different, man. Like New York is just, it's good. It's just not as receptive as a show in Pennsylvania or a show in Florida. I played Florida, and everyone there is just, I don't know, it's different. It's just way better. I'd rather just tour outside of our state because we have more fans. We actually have fans in the UK, which is funny.
You have to go over to Europe now and play, because I just heard from a lot of people, just the European crowds, it's like you take, like your standard, Florida crowd, and you just amp them up, you put them on like some kind of drugs or something. That's just basically Europe all over the place, because they're fucking crazy, but they absolutely love the music every step of the way.
Yeah, Europe is, I want to go to, like, I'm hoping to play Europe soon, hopefully, but it's going to happen. I don't know. I mean, I just like playing shows. I don't know.
I'd always love to go to Europe. I gotta try those Java cakes in the UK. I gotta try those so bad.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going back over there in September just to hang out with a couple people, see a couple of shows, and probably get destroyed in the mosh pit because that's usually what happens. But you gotta give it a shot. Just have some fun with it because why not?
Yeah,
exactly.
And I know you guys also mentioned potentially you guys are working on new music, writing new stuff, but I know you guys probably always consistently write new stuff, getting inspired to write new stuff. Can we expect anything from Kill the Blonde in 2020 in terms of maybe like an album or an EP or a couple of singles here and there anytime soon? That you guys can actually talk about, I should say. Yeah,
I can talk about it a little bit without giving too much away. Not an EP or album. We are doing a really cool acoustic song for one of the songs, very, very soon with the video. We're also going to work on another song of ours, planning to shoot that in probably the next 2 to 3 months. And yeah, the acoustic songs are really cool. It's kind of like a reimagining of one of our songs we actually wrote on our EP, and I can't wait to get that out. I think people are gonna like it. As far as EP albums go, we're not gonna really release anything until 2021. We might release a couple teasers or a couple songs here and there throughout the year, throughout the months. But yeah, that's basically where our schedule as far as music goes in the next year is just write another acoustic, write another song or two, maybe release 2 of them, the video. And yeah, we're taking this year. We're not taking off playing shows, but we're definitely taking this year to really get our name and
Get ourselves together.
Our brand established more, print out new merch, get songs demoed. We're trying to go to the studio somewhere. I don't know where. We're going to find a place to get our songs done and demoed and tracked. But we have 3 or 4 songs done already, tracked and demoed. So we have stuff. So you guys can expect that really soon. I don't know when. I don't even know myself, but we're going to get some stuff out for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. I think you guys will.
Well, I mean, of course, people are, as long as you put out there, as long as we were talking about earlier, where you're putting your heart and soul into it, you're being honest about everything with the music, and you're putting in the inspirations that you want to put in there, you're definitely going to end up getting a positive reception from the fans because people are going to be able to relate to that kind of music. And when you're talking about, establishing your brand, establishing your name with Kill the Blonde, I mean, with this potentially, show with one of these big bands that could potentially be, a catalyst in setting something up, because with these bigger bands, all of a sudden, it's why people tour and open for these bands, because all of a sudden then they get their fans knowing these other artists. I mean, there's a couple times all of a sudden I'm seeing like, oh yeah, they opened up for this band. Also like, wait, now they're headlining? What the hell? Like that happens, and it's a catalyst. Take a look at
crazy.
So take a look at a band like A Day to Remember. I mean, they were playing live shows relentlessly for 6-7 years before they really made it absolutely, like, they just blew up with Homesick. So it was just something where it was just, just getting your name out there and getting, whether it's, out on tours, whether it's on social media, whether it's anywhere you possibly can get the attention of the listener, that's where it's like, you got to really make your name.
Exactly. We take a lot of care into our live shows, especially now. People are paying money to see us, and even the band bigger than us. So we want to give them, we want to give them what they're paying for. We want to put on the best show as possible. Hopefully, we have returning fans, and yeah, we just really care about our live set more than ever, actually. So
as long as you keep focusing on that, you guys will be good to go. I mean, there's so many other bands that have gone the route of just focusing on what they do, focusing on their craft, and then putting it out there. And, if you put it out there and you try and get the attention of the people, and you know where to get the attention, eventually people are going to look at it. Eventually people are going to listen to it. And eventually people are going to get on board. How fast that happens, no one ever knows. But I mean, then again,
it's always different.
Yeah, there's so many bands that have tried, and there's so many bands that have maybe given up just before that time when they hit it big. And if this is your passion, this is the inspiration, this is everything you want to do in life, you'll make sure that you'll get through those times. So all of a sudden that time's gonna hit where you're gonna make it, where you guys are gonna just blow up even more than if only you knew really blew up. And all of a sudden it's gonna be like, man, I'm glad we stuck this out. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's the hopeful future.
I don't know if LJ can really relate, but I guess it's different for me because I did start this band from the ground up, and I did a fun fact. I actually recorded "Want Me Dead" and "If Only You Knew" by myself, besides drums. I can't play drums, and just the satisfaction I saw in the 2 songs that I did just as a solo project is crazy. And LJ shortly started writing Victim and Rewritten on the album, on the EP. And I don't know how it is with you, but for me, it's definitely different when you start something from the ground up. You don't think and you start rising. So it's very humbling to get that backing from people, especially if you didn't expect it to happen.
see something that's a piece of you that's out there right now, and people are enjoying it. People are listening to it. Rewritten was a song that took me so long to like get the instruments right to me, and I've had people like ask me about it, ask me how to play it, ask me like all this other stuff, tell me how it's one of their favorite songs, and it makes me happy to hear that, even though it's our least popular one.
Yeah, but it's going to be something that's going to keep giving you more strength and more drive to keep going as well, where it's, but I mean, you're going to have those songs where they're going to be the most popular, but there's going to be those songs that really are going to kind of fall by the wayside amongst popularity amongst the masses. But there's going to be some people that really, really, really relate to those. I mean, even like some of the songs I picked for like my best songs of the year for 2019, some people came out, I saw and was like, well, why'd you pick that song off that album? Why didn't you go with this one that was more popular? It's like, well, I didn't like that one. I liked this one. So that's what I went with. Who cares?
And it's funny because
Exactly.
like I think we critique ourselves way too much as a musician, thinking that the song's gonna be least popular because we don't like it. But it's funny because, again, as LJ was saying, Rewritten, the last song off the EP, that's my least favorite. It's my favorite lyrically, but just as a song, I don't like it. And people actually say it's their favorite song. So I was like, oh, okay, a song that we actually didn't really like that much, it became your favorite song. So I think it's more of like, I mean, again, it's taste too, but it's weird how a song that a band doesn't like as much, their fans end up liking more than them.
Yeah, because even like an example of that with my favorite band, Rise Against, they were actually going to cut Savior off of Appeal to Reason just because Tim wasn't really happy with it with overall, because he think he changed the vocal pattern up on it right at the end and he didn't feel like it really connected with him anymore. All of a sudden they put it out there and it becomes their most popular song of all time. And it's something that it's like, you know, they love playing it now just because of the fact that the crowd just goes absolutely bananas every time it comes on.
Yeah.
And I can attest to that too, just because anytime it comes on, all of a sudden, you know, the intro comes, all of a sudden hits, the instrumentation just goes hard, hits right away, and the mosh pit just goes freaking bananas. And a couple people end up getting hurt in the last one I was in for that one. Not me, though.
Yeah,
it's good to hear. Glad you're safe.
I don't mosh anymore. Unless it's like a band that, you know, I like a band if I mosh with them. I don't usually mosh a lot, but if I'm moshing to a band I don't really know at a show, that's usually a really good sign. I just can't mosh because I got back issues. I hate getting hit. I don't like it. I don't like, you know, crowds, but it happens. So just sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, like I'm in the exact opposite of this one with you, Keanu, because for some reason, like I just feel so much more alive, like at a concert, just all of a sudden jump in the mosh pit and just hitting some people getting hit back kind of thing. I don't know why. It's just something, there's something so primal about it that I just really enjoy. And go to a concert later, this evening after we shoot this, because I'm going to see The Word Alive, Escape the Fate, and Falling in Reverse. And I know by the time Popular Monster comes on from Falling in Reverse, by the time that breakdown hits, holy shit, there's going to be at least 2 walls of death for that thing. And I'm looking forward to both of them.
Yeah, our drummer actually went to The Word Alive, I think, last week. And I wanted to go because The Word Alive is my third favorite band ever. The new album's great. If you haven't heard it, check it out. It's so good.
I have heard it. I'm doing a review on it, and I think you and I are going to be on the opposite ends of the spectrum with it. I was not that big of a fan of it.
I like it, I think, only because I went into it knowing it wasn't going to be a metalcore album. Because, I mean, you can tell by the last 3 singles they put out. I just liked it because I went into it with really low expectations and it turned out way better. Even though I did like Dark Matter better. I like Dark Matter way more, but it was good. I mean, it's not your metalcore album that we were expecting, which is why I liked it. I go into new releases with the lowest expectations ever, and it just is better than going into a band. It's like, yeah, this is going to be heavy. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that's a letdown.
See, I did the same thing with the Hollywood Undead release from the previous week because I heard the singles. I'm like, this is not something I was really hoping for. So I was wondering expectations, like they're just going to keep this up. It's not going to end up. All of a sudden I heard the first song on the album that wasn't a single. And I'm just like, why the hell did they put this out as a single? This is one of their best songs I've ever heard. Are you kidding me?
It went more metalcore, if anything.
Yeah, especially like later on in the album they did. I'm like, holy crap. They got to keep this up.
Like, you know, like drop.
All right.
They went like drop tuning.
I used to love them. I gotta listen to them more.
Yeah, they got heavy. Yeah, they're not the emo trap.
I like heavy.
I know they went low. They dropped F now, I think.
Yeah, I'll say if you off their new album for you, LJ, if you I'd suggest listening to the song "Enemy." That might be the one that would be like just real. I think that'd be the perfect one. If you listen to their fifth album at all, because that one came out I think 2017.
I did not. I've only listened to American Tragedy up, before I meant. Like before American Tragedy and American Tragedy. Okay. Because I was like 13 when those came out. I seen the ads on I think it was on Fuse, and I was just like, oh, this sounds awesome.
Yeah, so that'd have been Swan Songs and American Tragedy. I'm trying to think because it was Notes from the Underground. They went a little bit like not as hard or not as trappy in that one too. I really like that album for what they did on that one. Then they kind of went a little bit more like they mixed it up a little bit, but their songs, they kind of go with that heavier, more metalcore style. Like they did one called Day of the Dead. That was their titular track off of their fourth album. Mm-hmm. Really like that one. Their lead single off their fifth album, California Dreamin'. It's pretty much, it mixes everything in.
That was a really good album. That actually got me into that.
I still remember when I heard that single for time, I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be great.
They started screaming too. I was like, wow, all right.
Yeah, I was happy about that one. And then even with the new one, I was a little nervous. But then songs like what they did with Heart of a Champion, Enemy was awesome. They had a song called Upside Down. And Danny's vocals were fantastic on that one. But then looking at the message of the song, they ended up having Kellen Quinn featured on it. And it just added so much more to it.
I heard that one. I was like, is this Kellen Quinn? What the hell?
Yeah, at first I'm like, wait, this is with Kellen Quinn, right? And I'm like, all of a sudden I hear him like, oh yeah, that's definitely Kellen.
He has that weird voice, that weird distinct voice. You can tell it's him.
Unless it's like right next to Vic Fuentes, and it's like, now we're getting in a little bit of like, which one is which?
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for something new from them too, because we haven't seen anything new from Pierce the Veil in a while.
They're gonna pop up like a freaking, I don't know. They're gonna come back with something.
Well, I'm still hoping that they come back out of nowhere and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, we're going to come back with a new album and a new tour, and we're going to be touring with Sleeping with Sirens, so I don't even want to go to that. All of a sudden people are going to be buying those tickets left and right.
Mm-hmm.
The first day
MCR coming back.
Oh, God. I've been trying to get in contact with a couple of people for because they're going to be at Riot Fest in Chicago. That's going to be the closest one I can get to. And I've been trying to talk to some people that kind of like working down there. I'm like, hey, can you guys let me know let me know if Rise Against is playing this year and what days. Not because I want to say anything. It's just because I want to know what day they're playing to know if I have to buy the 3-day pass or just the 1 day. It's the only reason. So I'm still hoping for that. But on that note, just because we're kind of going off on just random bands around right now. You guys got anything else coming up in 2020? If not, then we will send you on your way to keep making some fucking kick-ass horrorcore.
As I said, as far as the acoustic and a few songs we have planned, expect some live footages, expect some behind the scenes, just expect shoots, and hopefully we're going to start touring this year. And if we do, check dates for that. Yeah, we have merch. Go to our website, killtheblonde at bigcartel.com. is our merch store. Check that out. Pick something up. I do all the mailing, so I'll leave you guys a little cute message in there. So basically it. I don't know.
There you go. LJ, anything from you?
I just got to say, I hope everyone's day is fantastic after hearing this, and I hope you enjoyed it. Keanu said everything that I would have said, and I love you guys.
Awesome. Well, for everything they said when it comes to their social media accounts, their website, where you can find their merch, just if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Play, just look in the show notes because it'll be there in like the little description. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be in the description as well, so be able to easily click on that, be able to go from there. Go follow Kill the Blonde because you're not going to want to, not follow him, because if you don't, you're going to miss out on some good ass shit. So go follow him, much like we are. So we'll take it from there. And guys, Keanu, LJ, thank you guys for coming by the Chord Progression Podcast today. This was fucking awesome. And I can't see what you guys got coming up in 2020 as the year goes on. So on that note,
thank you for having us.
You're very welcome, and rock the fuck on.
Stay spooky.
Peace, man.
All right, folks, that was our interview with Keanu and LJ of Kill the Blonde out of New York. And guys, you're probably going to end up seeing them as featured on the My Song of the Day Rack 2000 today as a Song of the Day feature. I'm going to say let's give them, maybe in March. Well, because this episode's coming out on the 27th, I've already stopped playing. So get ready for them in March because I like their sound. So if you guys haven't had a chance to hear them yet and then you're like, oh, well, we forgot. Well, boom, we're going to make sure you don't forget because we're going to show you their music because, well, they got good stuff. I'm hoping to see them at some point. We talked a little bit about tours after the call, and I mean, they pretty much gave me the same stuff. They've got stuff in the works, but they ain't saying anything about it. So when it comes out, you guys will know. I'd say go check them out if you get the chance because, well, yeah, I'm saying that. Go check them out if you have the chance. I will definitely be checking them out if I get the chance as well because I like their sound. I can't wait to see them play live. But until then, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you for enjoying this special episode of the Chord Progression Podcast brought to you by My Song Day Rock 2000 Day. My name is Kevin. Thanks for sticking with my scratchy voice because I'm still a little sick. And you guys know how I end every single one of these, videos, podcasts, whatever it may be. Guys,